Welcome to Call of the Wild.
Hey everyone, this is Monstercat's weekly radio show connecting you with some of your favorite artists.
Hey everyone, this is Kill Paris. Hey guys, this is Conroe.
What's up guys, Dion Simmer here.
And of course, a place where individuals like yourselves can take part in a global family.
Hey yo, this is Logan from Australia.
I'd like to shout out everyone who listens to Monstercat and remind you that you're awesome.
So glad I'm here.
So get yourself ready for an hour of fresh music, and it all starts right now.
With nothing to hold us back, these are the songs of the wild.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Josh, but a lot of you probably know me as Rocket Man. In case you don't know, I'm the one that mixes Monstercat's Call of the Wild each week for all you wonderful listeners, but today's episode is a little different. We've brought in 3 very talented DJs from the community to mix this entire hour. You'll hear mixes from past finalists from the mix contest, like finalist Note, last year's runner-up Streak, and last year's mix champion, Feathervane. First up, we have Note all the way from the Philippines. And welcome to the Community Picks episode of Monstercat's Call of the Wild. Take it away.
Hey guys, it's Note. And I'm so glad to be back again mixing for Monstercat's Call of the Wild. If you don't know who I am, I was a finalist on Season 4 of the Monstercat Mix Contest back in 2019. For this week's community episode, I decided to create a 20-minute blend of Instinct and Uncaged styles of music. I even threw in a couple of throwback mashups to my previous mixes on Monstercat. And, to top it all off, I even included some community-submitted mashups. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoy the next 20 minutes of Call of the Wild.
Come on, don't think about the consequences if you want it. Come on, don't worry about the aftermath, we know it's coming. But come on, maybe it says it's all we need just for a minute. Just for a minute, yeah. I need it like a vice, got me hooked, I cannot lie. I tell you every time that we'll make it out alive. Come on, don't think about the consequences if you want it, yeah. Too close to the edge, we're gonna crash and burn. You think that by now we probably should've learned. We're no good together, honestly, no.
Would you run from me? If I go, would you be happy in the end? So is it all for nothing? Was it all for nothing? Those memories, was it all for nothing? Was it all for nothing? So is it all for nothing?
Breathe me into the light. Slowly heal the darkness in my heart. I hear you now. A taste was all I needed. I feel your love loud and clear to the end. It's you and me. I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. To the
Thank you, Note, for that incredible mix. Next up on the decks is Streak coming in from Canada.
What's up, Monstercat fam? This is Streak here. If you guys don't know me, I was the runner-up in Season 5 of the Monstercat Mix Contest. Really excited to show you guys this mix today. I got a couple of heavy bangers to start off. After that, you're going to hear a couple of really cool community mashups. And a little bit after that, I'm going to show you guys something that I like to call sample surgery. Hope you guys enjoy it. I will be in the Monstercat Discord listening to the mix with you guys right now. See you guys there.
way too long just to tear it down. Hold my head up proud as you stare into my eyes. I scream it loud because we ain't going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere.
most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America.
Breathing in, letting go. Breathing in, letting go. Deeper and deeper, your spirit follows the breath, the flow, through all cells of your body. Your life's energy, it's all there within your control. You just follow the guide, and the guide brings you to the depth, to the most beautiful areas of your mind, freeing itself. Because that is you, and nobody else but you. It's amazing! Amazing! Yeah! Just feel it! Free! Beautiful minds, wake up. Beautiful minds, wake up.
Another amazing mix from Streak. Let him know what you think on socials using hashtag COTW Radio. Now, last but not least, I proudly introduce last year's Mix Contest champion Feathervane to the stage. Take it away.
What's up, Monstercat fam? This is Feathervane. You might remember me as the champion of the 2020 season of the Mix Contest, and I'm going to be taking over the next couple minutes of Call of the Wild. In this mix, you can expect to hear some community mashups, as well as some mashups from myself, some that are full length, and maybe even a Silk mashup. You're gonna have to stay tuned to hear that. Hope you guys are enjoying the community episode. It's always a pleasure to be on. And speaking of community, are you guys on the Monstercat Discord? If you're not, then join. I'm gonna be there after the show. It's always such a great community to be in. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the episode. Hope you guys enjoy my mix. And until next time, see ya.
this love is overdue. Ain't holding back the truth. Now I see you clearly. Are you thinking about me? Maybe this is something special. Don't wanna keep it level. Time goes by, start to evolve.
coming back.
thank you to Note, Streak, and Feathervane for taking us on a journey. This year's Mix Contest finalists have a lot to live up to. You can listen to all their mixes again just by searching Monstercat Call of the Wild on any music streaming platform, or head on over to monstercat.com/COTW. Just because this episode is over, don't change that channel. We have another full hour of community picks hosted by Dylan Todd coming up next. Until next time, this has been Rocket Man signing off. See ya.
That's a bad kitty.